Hey guys, Vatche here from SoloGuitars. Today we're working on two roasted ash bodies, a strat style and a tele style, double F-hole, bound, and also binding on the top and the bottom. The strat style will obviously have to be without the arm contour or the belly cut. It will be more of a slab. Customers using 3 P90 soap bars with cream covers. Instead of doing the traditional ABS binding, we are going to actually pour epoxy for the F-holes and the top and the bottom of the body. Now these bodies have been jointed, planed, and glued. They are 2 inches thick, and we want our final thickness to be 1 3/4 inch with a 1/4 inch top. So we're gonna have to go ahead and plane these down to 1.5 inches. I've also already resawed the tops for it. So we just used a regular roasted ash. You can see here, I've already done the resawing and book matching. We do have rough edges, so we are going to joint these two sides to ensure a tight glue joint. And we'll have one of these for the tele and one of these for the strat. Okay, so as you can see, when we hold these book matched pieces together, it is not a perfectly tight fit, and that's because they haven't been jointed on the inside edges rather, yet. So I've set my jointer to a 1/64 height, meaning it'll take off a 1/64 of an inch per pass, and we're gonna get those edges all nice and smooth and true, so that when we do glue them up, it will be a seamless glue joint. So we've jointed all 4 edges, and now once we put them together, we have a very nice and tight glue joint. That's one, and there's the other one. Perfect. All right, we have our glue on the edge. Just gonna go ahead and line up the book matching. So I'm not overly tightening it right now because it will start to bow already. And just make sure you keep your eyes on the book matching, because as you apply the pressure, because we jointed only this side, even if we joint the outsides, you can still have them be on a bit of an angle. And when you apply the pressure, they could ever so slightly shift. So we keep our eye on the book matching. Now we're just going to go ahead and clamp up these offcuts to prevent it from bowing. So you can see that I'm only clamping the one side of it, and that's because if we clamp both sides, then it'll be really hard for us to put the horizontal pressure back on. And so what these are going to do is they're going to stop them from bowing up, and the pipes on the pipe clamps will stop them from bowing down. So now that we have that set up, we can just go ahead and apply a little more pressure on the pipe clamps. Now that we have our desired pressure, we can go ahead and clamp the other side as well. I've also got these deep C clamps so that we can get pretty much in the center of both of these to clamp those down as well. And I'm just using a couple of offcuts just to make sure the clamp does not damage our top. Alright, so we're just going to let this set. The clamping time for these is about a half hour to an hour, and then after that we'll take it out, set it aside, work on our second top, and then we'll let them fully cure for 24 hours before we put them on the CNC and have the F-holes and the pickup rods all cut out. Okay, we have all of our boards all glued up, and all we have to do is just sand away all the glue drippings. Once we're done that, we're going to put them on the CNC where we're going to cut the channels for all the bindings. Once we cut the channels for the bindings, we're going to pour in our epoxy, and with the guidance holes that we're going to put on the tops and the bottoms that correspond to each other, after we pour in the epoxy and it is cured, we can then put dowels in those holes so that we can match up the top with the body in the exact right position. Okay, so as mentioned, these are measuring in at 1 3/4, and we want to plane these down to 1 1/2 so that once our top is on, we get a final thickness of 1 3/4. So we're just going to go ahead and take off a 1/4 inch off of each body. So now we have our blanks measuring at just over 1 1/2 inches, which is perfect. That gives us additional wiggle room to throw it through the drum sander. We're going to go ahead and do our CAD work so that we can put this on the CNC and have the voids beneath the F-holes all routed out. And then we'll have our tops routed out with the F-holes, and we'll pour our epoxy, glue them up, put indicator holes so that we know we're putting the top exactly where it needs to go in respect to the base, and then we'll pour in our epoxy.